Welcome back to the Haven Universal Broadcasting Service. I'm your host, Ollie Ashwood. On today's news, a pebble has been thrown today as the Boulderov Inquisition army makes moves against their enemies in a raid on one of their primary cities. Now, for those of you wondering, this all seems to have began as a rebellion had been foiled by the Boulderovi government that was set upon by their enemies. In response to a failed coup funded by a foreign power, the Boulderovi Rangers occupied Fort Tahat. Again, I must remind you, we still have not improved on pronunciation at this channel. Now, following this, we expected there to be some hostility from the government, but instead a full-out raid would take place as a small skirmish began between soldiers. After the attack on the Rangers, Owen, leader of the Inquisition, mobilized his troops and made a full-on march on Siltra. Joined by forces from the ocean and from land, the Inquisition seemed to hold the upper hand of the fight until more reinforcements from the enemies came. At that point, the Boulderovi Inquisition retreated back to Petrogul, where they were later counterattacked in a horrible raid. How dare they do this? However, the Ashai military would eventually rear its head and ensure that Petrogul's security was ensured, as Boulderists from around the country took arms and defended their capital and thy Boulder from the enemies who had dared to break them from within and now dared to break them from without. After this massacre, the Boulderov government now stands firm in its decision, and we will continue to report as any ongoing developments continue to develop. That's all we have time for today on the Haven Universal Broadcasting Service. Join us next time as we keep you in the loop with any ongoing news in Haven. I'm your host, Ollie Ashwood. Good night.